in Dan Brown's book that if you can clue into it, you enjoy the book on yet another level. And it's a very interesting read. It's fun. I would recommend it.
Okay.
I'm not part of Dan Brown's public relations committee, but I've read his other things and they're fun. And this one is no different. It's a very enjoyable book, and it's all about Freemasons and the 33rd degree and things like that.
And do you like the way that he spoke about Freemason and
Yes,
the way it was
yes,
written?
absolutely.
Mhm.
That was a big concern of Freemasons that I know. They were afraid that Freemasonry was going to get a bad name or something, and but such is not true. In fact, he writes about Freemasonry so lovingly. He probably should become one, but he probably wanted to get the book out the way first because if he
Right,
became a
of course.
Freemason, he probably couldn't have put certain things in the book because you have to kind of promise that you won't reveal certain things. And but now that the book is out, I don't doubt that at some point he may become one.
Oh,
I,
okay.
I would I wouldn't be surprised if he joined the Freemasons at some point.
I was wondering, from reading the book,
Mm-hmm.
without giving any clues to our viewers who
Mm-hmm.
haven't read the book yet, um, what do you think the goal or the what he was trying to at the ending, what he was trying to reveal to the viewers, I mean to the readers, sorry. What do you think about, what was your understanding of the book
Well, I
without
mean,
giving away too much?
I mean that the quest for knowledge is a lifelong quest, and you have to ask yourself, well, why is it that you're pursuing certain things? Is it for your own aggrandizement, to puff yourself up, to make yourself, you know, more important, or to be? No, um, that's not it at all. We become a part of these societies not to be more privileged individuals, but to be more responsible individuals. Um, that's really the goal, and to arrive at a deeper understanding of one's self and the mysteries of the world. And there's three ways that we deal with spirituality. Um, we can talk to God. When we talk to God, essentially we are praying. We can listen to God. And when you do that, that means you are in meditation. To meditate is to listen to God. To pray is to talk to God. Then there is a way where you become God's co worker. And some would say that the study and practice of what they would call the magical arts makes you God's co worker. And that's a pretty tall order. That means you can actually bring about and affect change on the material level by doing work on the spiritual level. And at one of the references that I like to use are the Sufis, known as the Mevlana dervishes, that come to us from Konya in Turkey. And the whirling dervish extends his right hand to heaven to receive the spiritual gifts. And as he's swirling, he points his left hand to the earth. So he takes the spiritual, and he's a conduit for bringing that spirituality down into the material plane to make the material, the gross material world, that much more enlightened and spiritual. But and that in a way is to be God's co-worker, or to be an instrument of His peace, so to speak. And I think that's what one does when one involves oneself in doing magic or meditation. You become a helper of God, so to speak.
Oh, okay. Okay, that is very interesting.
Hmm.
Your analogy on that. I wanted to know, with Freemasonry, is it sort of from darkness to the light? That's kind of what you're trying to reach.
Well, yes.
In
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at the teachings of the different orders, be it the Kabbalists, the tree of life. And if you're familiar with the tree of life, there are 10, what we call Sephiroth. The lowest one is Malkuth, and Malkuth represents the material world, whereas Kether, the number one, the crown, represents the spiritual world. Um, so here we are down in Malkuth. We are in Malkuth as we speak, and the goal is to try to work our way up the ladder, so to speak. And who knows, that's probably the significance of Jacob's ladder. That's what it's really talking about, climbing that ladder to spiritual enlightenment. It's what the philosophers refer to as the philosopher's stone, that would enable you to turn base metal into gold. Now, originally people thought it meant that you could take, base metal and magically turn it into gold. But what they're talking about is the gross material body, how to infuse that with spirituality and make it lighter and bring it closer to the light. And so, yeah, that's the goal of whether it's Rosicrucian, Freemasonry, Knights Templar, various magical orders that are out there. I mean, that's the whole quest. That's the search for the Holy Grail. Different traditions talk about it in different ways, but to be closer to the light, to have more light within us. But as you light up, you start to attract a lot of dark things. Albert Einstein has a wonderful quote: "As the circle of light increases, so does the circumference of the darkness that surrounds it." So as you light up, the darkness gets bigger too, and so it's a never ending struggle.
Challenge? Shall we
Always,
say?
always.
So,
Challenge is a great word. Always.
so to find truth, which we're all looking for, and to find our purpose in this world and with God, we have to go through many challenges.
You have to go through the fire to get to the light.
Okay, there it goes back to darkness to light.
Through
There
the
we go
fire
again.
to the light.
Wow,
Mm.
very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very interesting. Um, well, before I end, because
Mhm.
time is wrap, you know,
Fleeting, sure.
um, wanted to say, in Freemason, do they believe that we are also God in a level?
Um,
Um,
I wouldn't say that is part of the Masonic teaching. No, you don't
okay.
really find that anywhere. Um, but for me personally,
Mhm.
yes, I believe that we, um, there's I forget what century religious philosopher, Silesius, I think his name was, who said, "I am like God, and God like I. I am as large as God, and He is as small as I. I cannot above Him, nor He beneath me be." Which is to say that I am God, He is me. I am with Him inasmuch as He is within me. And the God that I recognize as being indwelling in myself is the same God that I recognize as being indwelling in every other human being that I meet. So when I meet another human being, it's like I'm talking to God. And if people behave like that, we'd have less problems.
Thank you so